Morning YouTube. Today's adventure, I'm spending a day on a commercial crab boat. It's 4 a.m. Get ready to get picked up and we'll get to see what it's like to catch a whole bunch of crabs. A lot of cool things we can learn today and bring y'all along and show y'all everything I see. So thank y'all for being here. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at cajungirloutdoors. And y'all make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel here because we do new videos every week on anything we can do down here in Sportsman's Paradise. Let's go.
So this is Peyton. He's been in a few of my videos already. And he's taking me out on his crab today. We already caught like 5 or more loads already, huh?
Yeah, 5 of 60-pound loads, with usually 11 to 13 dozen. Each of those weigh around 55 to 65 pounds.
So this is a lug. One of these full lugs.
We're not grading the crabs, so what you see is what you get. Anything that's coming out of the cages, we get thrown straight into the logs. The system Joey was talking about, she didn't realize how fast-paced commercial crabbing is. When you're running this many traps, you can't really take your time. You gotta just keep going with the flow. Because the crabs are gonna die if you leave them in the heat for too long.
And by the time you dump this one, you're already to the next one. And you gotta.
You're always doing something. You always have to be doing something.
So yeah, I told him I didn't expect it to be this fast paced. I've always seen crab boats around my whole life, but I never really got this inside look like I have today.
You want to get the crabs to the dock so they're still alive. Way too long in the afternoon and in the summertime like this when it's 95 degrees out, the crab's not gonna last too long. You gotta keep on going, get back to the dock so they can grade out the crabs. It's a process, it takes a while.
So how many traps are we running today?
We're running 350 today. Usually different other crabbers have different sets that they run every day. They usually run probably anywhere from 350 to 600 a day, and then you run another set the next day.
So y'all see me in my little pirogue running 5 traps? Yeah, this is a whole different ball game.
Everything you see is made for a reason. You got the 13-foot ropes to where it comes up straight to the boat. That way you don't have to be reaching all over. You know exactly where the trap is as soon as it hits the rake. Everything is made to be fast-paced.
All right, guys, so this is the rake here. It hangs off the side of the boat. And watch how it grabs the crab ball.
As soon as it hits the rake, I already know where the trap's gonna be. I don't have to look.
So it just grabs that crab ball, pulls the trap right to him. He can dump out the crabs in this box and then put them in the lugs. And so y'all are sorting out number 1 crabs right now, right?
Sorting out number 1s.
So those are the big ones.
The biggest crabs you can get. Anything 6 inches and above in Louisiana is a number 1.
Okay.
You see that brown bottom? You push it. If you can push it a little bit, it's not hard. But this one, you can't push it at all. That's a number 1 all day long.
See that? That's what they call a rusty bottom, and that's gonna be a full fat crab, right?
And that's gonna be a female with eggs too. Fat female with eggs.
And those are the most desirable crabs.
Absolutely, especially down here. But back what I was saying on the time thing, as soon as you get this trap out, it's a rhythm. You get the trap, you dump the bait, so that way when you're shaking the crabs, the bait's not going all over the place and the crabs ain't nasty. Shake the crabs out, flip it back, close the trap.
So look how white this one is. It's like translucent white. It's gonna not have a lot of meat or fat in
You
it.
can feel it pushing on the side though. Pushing on the side of the bar. Going in?
Yeah, it's going in a little bit. So that one is not gonna have a lot of meat, and that's not good to sell. It's not a desirable crab. So Peyton, how long you been crabbing, and who taught you to crab?
So this is gonna be my 2nd year crabbing. My dad used to crab when he was young, and my dad's dad used to crab. So it runs in a family, generational thing. I started off as soon as I came out of high school. Have a love for it. Can't really hate being on the water. Never did, never will.
I mean, look, this is your office right here.
Can't beat it. Never will. Right now we're just grading out the 1s. But the 2s are anything from 5.5 inches to 6 inches. Which, if I got a couple 2s in this one right here, I'll show you. Let's see.
But anything under 5 inches point to
From the
point
back.
is undersized.
That's probably a number 2
So
right
show
there.
them what you're measuring point to point.
Point to point. A lot of people get it confused because they measure claw to claw. It's always point to point. Put against my little thing right here, about 6 inches. It's a little under. It's about 5.25. That's a number 2 all day long. But for it to be a number 2, he also has to be hard. That one, he got the white bottom, but if you feel,
Yes.
see how you poke in? It's going in the factory. So the rig stays down, and when it gets caught with a trap, the rope comes down. That eases off all the pressure that we're putting on this rope. It allows me to take the trap out of the water, and the rig goes back down. I'll pull this rope, the cork comes out, and it's ready to pick up another trap. That's how it stays constantly moving, constantly moving.
So what kind of bait you use and where you get it?
So, right now we're baiting with catfish eggs. For the summertime, it really doesn't matter what you bait with. That's what it looks like right there. It doesn't really matter what you bait with because the crabs are so plentiful, they can be biting on anything. During the wintertime, we try out different things like pokey, different kinds of fish. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just gotta adjust to what the crabs are biting to. You gotta try everything. You really want to put about a pound of bait in each bait well of the trap. Right here, this is where the bait goes. These are where the crabs come out of. You put your bait in here, and we figure about a pound, 2 heads. But pokey is a little different because they weigh a little more. I mean, weigh a little less. But yeah, about a pound each trap. You want to make sure every single trap you get, all the bait is getting out. because what happened is that old bait sits on the bottom, and when you put your new bait in and you turn the trap over in the water, that old bait sits at the top of the trap, and the new bait is not floating to the top of the trap like I was supposed to. So now the crabs aren't getting to the new bait, they get to the old bait, and it makes a difference.
So how long these been out?
He's been out since Monday, so it's a 2-day sit.
2-day sit.
Over the weekend, you usually get better numbers because it's a longer sit. You can let them sit during the summertime. Probably the most I'll let them sit is around 4 days, because then that bait starts to get old, and then you're no longer catching crabs. I think a lot of crabs are stupid. They're not stupid, they're just getting caught in that trap. When they don't have bait in that trap, the crab's gonna find a way out of that trap. They're only staying in there because, for one, they're trapped and they're still eating on that bait that's kind of fresh. The longer you leave them in there, the more of a chance they have to get out. Crabs aren't as stupid as people think. Types of traps we're fishing are called 12 mesh. The reason why they call it 12 is each one of these little squares are counted as one. So people fish sometimes 11 mesh, 12 mesh, but prefer the bigger traps. No particular reason, but that's just what we're fishing. Each trap costs about anywhere from $55 to $65. That's why it's crucial that you don't want to lose traps. See, like we had some traps in the middle, we had to move them because we know it's trolling season coming up and we don't want our traps getting stuck in the trolls and the stripper. So you buy the traps without the rope, without the cork, without the PVC, and without the rebar. All that adds up to give you around $55 to $65, which is pretty expensive compared to how they worked back in the day.
So Peyton was telling me that they lost a lot of traps in Hurricane Ida, right?
Oh, no. Well, a little bit past Hurricane Ida, but a storm that passed through and a bunch of others came all around here. We had a lot of traps here. We lost probably about 200 traps, which if you add it up, it's a lot of money. That's why you want to make sure you're running every single trap every day and you're taking care of your traps. You don't want to pull up your trap and be careless about it and throwing it against the boat and whatnot, and you get your traps beat up. You're supposed to last you a long time, so you want to take care of your traps. That's why I pull them out every year, pressure wash them, get them looking clean, get them ready to start the new year. Crabs like a clean trap. Usually when you throw them in different areas, the traps get a little dirty, you start getting some mud on the traps. These are pulling up a little grass, but that ain't hurting nothing. You just pull that all right off. I mean, that's not hurting nothing at all. But when they get full of mud, the crabs, you tend to find you're not catching as many. So you got to pull them out, pressure wash them, throw another set in the next day. There's always something to do. There's never an off day in this business.
And it's really year-round.
Year-round. During the wintertime, some fishermen don't fish because they don't have enough traps. During the wintertime, you're not catching as many as you are during the summertime, so it's harder to catch crabs. But during the wintertime, the prices shoots up for the crab. Right now, the prices aren't too great. For anything under a 2, we're getting 30 cents a pound, which is not really great at all. Number 2s, we get $1 a pound, and females we get 75 cents a pound, which ain't too great. And for number 1s we get $2.50. This is the lowest it's been in years from my understanding. And a lot of people say it's a lot of different things. I hear it's from the economy. People can't afford crabs, gotta make them cheaper. It is what it is. All we can do is fish more water. We can't control what the price is on. All we can control is what we're catching and how much we catch. If we're not catching enough to make the price of the day of what it's going to cost, you got to put more traps in the water. Got to fish more water. This business is a lot of adversity. You overcome a lot of different things. All you can do is adjust.
Show them a male versus female crab.
So the males have this triangle thing on them.
Females have an apron. That's what you call an apron, right? And this is gonna be a fat female with some eggs. You see how she got that dark bottom? This would be a very good female. A lot of people would rather this over the males just because of the eggs. Hey. Get that, yeah, release that.
What's crazy is like one trap is like mostly females, then the next one is like mostly males. Like, how does that work?
It's weird. The past 2 runs we've been catching more males than females, which is good. It works more. But usually when you see them traps full when you see the traps with females in it, the traps got more crabs.
All right, so he's packing a lug right now, and he's making sure all the crabs are flipped right. If they're upside down, they're gonna die.
They die a lot quicker when they're upside down. Whenever we finish the line, we pack them. We put this funnel on so they can't run out the lugs.
So this is a funnel.
And you fill them up a little bit higher than the actual lug itself.
So you're really packing it
So
tight.
you're packing them tight. You want to get as much crabs in each one as you can.
You want a tight pack because you want to know how much crabs you're catching per line. And the only way to know that is if you got a packed lug, you know exactly what kind of weight you're catching, because those lugs, like I said, anywhere from 58 pounds to 64 pounds.
All right, so here's how he's gonna put the cover on, pack it.
When the cover's through these little holes right here, you pick the funnel up, and then you just push down. That's good packed up.
Peyton, about how much does it cost to come out and run for a day, like after gas and everything?
Well, it ranges differently. We spend about $100 a day on gas. Then you gotta pay your deckhand, you gotta pay the bait, and it all varies on how many traps you're running. That's gonna depend on how much bait you get. There's a lot of different expenses, but you can lower down your expense by doing different things. Like instead of pumping gas at the marina where it's more expensive, we take the gas can and we go straight to the tanks. Times like this, you need to lower down your expense so you could be able to come out here and make it, you know. Each one of these catfish boxes costs about $26 a box. The pole get a little more expensive. That's why we don't fish them during the summertime. You need to lower down your expense.
So how many boxes of catfish you need on a day like today?
On a day like today, anywhere from 7 to 8 when you're running about 350. in a couple months when we're gonna be fishing, I don't know, maybe 600 to 700 traps, you're gonna have to double it. So you're gonna be fishing about 14 to 15 boxes of catfish. Well, the reason we're gonna be able to fish that much is because the prices on the crabs will go up. So you don't really need to cut down your expense that much.
So the price is constantly changing, or is it really seasonal?
It's
constantly,
really,
constantly changing.
So it changes about every month.
Wow.
During the winter time, prices are really, really good, but it's because you're not catching a lot of crabs like how you're catching right now.
So right now they're so plentiful that the price is a lot lower.
Right now we're catching about 8 to 12 traps, good traps. But during the winter time, you might run 20 traps for catching one crab. But that one crab's gonna be worth something compared to all these crabs. Like I said, you just gotta adjust to that environment, adjust how you fish all year round. Typically, you make your majority of your money in the months from January to right when summer starts, so about May.
Really?
That's when you typically make most of your money. During the
And most people might think it's like right now.
right now is actually the worst time to make money.
Wow.
During the
That's not what I
summertime.
thought.
During the winter time, you make good money if you fish the right way. You gotta really know what you're doing during the winter time.
And how much time do you take to go find the spots where you're gonna put a line out?
Okay, so when you fish just so little traps, not fishing a lot of traps, you gotta move traps around almost every day so you can find the right crabs you're looking for. So right now we probably move about 40 to 50 a day just to try it out, just to throw them in a new spot and see, hey, what it's gonna do the next day we run. If it hits, we'll move more in that spot. If it doesn't, we'll take them out and put them in a different spot. You gotta be moving traps when you're not fishing that many so you can really find the crabs and really get them.
And did the crabs move a lot?
Typically the crabs stay in a spot from anywhere to, it's hard to say. Well, I found probably 2 weeks to a month and a half.
Okay.
So you really got to be on your game, finding the crabs, so you know where's the next spot you're moving to.
Yeah.
You always got to be 3 steps ahead. You always have to move ahead of the crabs. Right now, I know the crabs are in a different part of the lake, but I know they're gonna be, when that water cools down, they're gonna be pushing further south. So I got these traps right here for when the crabs start biting. I'm always a step ahead. I know the crabs that go further south, so that's why I got them right here. The crabs are gonna push straight through here. And I learned that with over time and experience. I learned that from last year. Because I seen the same thing happen last year. Don't want to have a dirty boat. It's your office, like you said.
It gets dirty pretty quick, I imagine.
Very quickly.
These are the #1 crabs, so where are these gonna go?
So I went talk around a few weeks ago and I went try to find a better buyer because the person we bring them to right now is not paying good enough for them. It's hard to make a living like that, so you gotta adjust, like I said, so we find different buyers and we can bring the other crabs to the guy we keep bringing them to, and we can bring the #1s, which we get paid $1 per pound more and hopefully do a little better than what they pay us.
And are these the ones that are gonna get shipped up north?
These are going to be eaten locally.
So the
All the
#1s
crabs
you
you're
catch.
looking up here are going to be shipped.
So the selects you catch are gonna be locally sold.
You can find them in Thibodeau, Raceland, Lockport, Jack Bay, Battery, anywhere around this area. Houma. That's where you're going to find those crabs.
And any of the #2s, they going up to Maryland.
#2s get straight shipped to Maryland. They'll be there tomorrow afternoon.
And how do they get there?
A lot of different people ship them a lot of different ways. Sometimes by truck, sometimes by airplane.
paced on the boat. It's got to be fast paced
Everywhere.
from the second they leave the boat.
These crabs are all gonna be live. They have to be live. You always have to be doing something. The crabs always have to be moving somewhere. They can't be sitting overnight somewhere. Now these crabs, they get eaten locally, so they might be able to stay in a pool for 2-3 days and still be alive.
Right. During the summertime, don't they last longer in a cooler?
But it depends. Like, so although some of these crabs are live right now, I'm probably gonna have a dozen when I get over there today. And when they're taking them out the coolers to give to people for live, they might be dead, so they're taking a lot of dead out there. It's hard to say if it lasts longer during the summertime or wintertime in the coolers, but definitely during the hotter days, it's harder to keep them alive until the place is ready to.
That, you guys, is New Orleans right there. This is the last line of the day.
Yes, ma'am.
Last line. Now I gotta undo this.
Now, Porter, put a trap in the boat.
Like this.
Yeah, I take some. No, there you go.
Wait,
No, turn it towards me.
like this?
Yeah, keep turning it.
Like this?
Yeah. You go take your time. You ain't in a rush. Now put it flat. That'll make it easy for you. Low up. Right here?
Like this.
Yeah. And then you're gonna put your hand right here. And now with your hand right here, it allows you to open up the trap right here. And you can dump them out easier like that. So the further down your hand is, the better you can open up the trap.
Alright.
And then it's gonna slide out. There you go. Now close the trap. There you go. Now when the next trap hits the rake, that's when you want to dump it. First thing you look for when you pick up the trap is where this is at. Because that's going to allow the whole process to go a lot smoother because you already know where your hand needs to go. Now, if you didn't get the rake, it's going to be harder to move the trap, you see?
Okay.
It takes a while.
Yeah,
Took me-
to get
no,
that
yeah.
fast?
It took me a while.
I bet. This one's like hooked up.
No, just... Oh, yeah. Just over this. All right, there you go.
one has a lot.
The easiest thing to do is get the trap in the boat first.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll hold that rope. I use it for balance.
Yeah.
I'd rather hold the rope so I don't fall overboard because I am leaning over every time. And I hold the rope with balance, put the trap in the boat first, then pull the rope. It's harder than it looks.
For real.
This is a red line buster.
Throw it? Or
Hold it for a second. I'm gonna put this one in the rake. Just hold it. I'm trying to put it back on. Can you see it? You see how they got that double line? It's a little hard to see. Better to see this one. How that outside line is right there?
yeah.
That's a buster. So he's a bust in about 72 hours maybe. A little less. He might bust a night. Who knows? All right, go ahead.
That was much easier.
As soon as you get it, you can go. You got it?
Nothing in it.
Or just bait it. Just bait it. So you're gonna throw it again. Just throw it.
Okay.
It's a good drop.
Yeah. Good?
Yep. Last one. There you go.
Bro.
Look, you see how it's a little hard for them to come out?
Yeah.
You open that trap all the way, they're gonna just slide out. If I were you, I'd probably try grabbing the middle. Just open them up as much as you can. That's the key to it. Just as bigger this is, the easier it is for them to come out. There you go. Bait it and throw it.
Yeah.
First off, what he got in his hand is called a burlap sack. The reason why he's wetting it, come over here, he's putting it on top of these ones to keep them cool, nice, and we're gonna wet it before we put it back in the truck. This is to keep them alive longer, it's to keep them out the heat, keep them a little shade, have some cool water running through them. They usually stay alive a lot longer if you're putting some burlap sacks on it like that. That's how you have less dead loss.
Alright y'all, at the end of the video here, we brought the crabs back to a crab dock where the guys there were able to sort them out by classification and size. And that's gonna all go into how much he made that day. So as y'all could see, we backed up the truck to the dock, and behind the truck there was this big tub of ice water. And that is to slush the crabs or shock them. So you get them real cold, they're gonna be very lethargic, they're not gonna be able to move around and pinch the guys that are trying to quickly sort them out. And as y'all can see by the little bit of footage I got, they do that very, very fast. So once they all sorted out and classified, you're able to sell them and the crabbers get paid. Huge shout out to Peyton and his deckhand for taking me out and just let me join on their work day. You know, that's a day of work for them. and just to let me go out there was a blessing. But not only that, they taught me a whole lot about the crabbing industry and just crabbing itself. There were so many things I found interesting, like just the fast pace of it, you know? Like I mentioned in the video, I've been seeing crab boats my whole life, you know? Never really knowing what's really going on those boats. And just to get a little glimpse into that, I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm super excited just to share it with y'all. Peyton was very, very informative, and kind of made me think of a lot more things I'd like to know about crabbing. You know, there's so much more to learn, but I think this video covered a whole lot. And, you know, it's taken me quite some time to work on this video. I'm excited to get it out there, but y'all please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment if you like it. I worked really hard on this video. I would just appreciate anything, but let me know if there was anything y'all were surprised by like me, or any other questions you might have about crabbing, you know, that maybe he can answer for us. Y'all just leave me a comment. Like I said, I worked really hard on this video. Super blessed just to get the opportunity to go out there. I hope y'all all enjoyed that. Yeah, it was such a great day out in the water, and this is just one of those videos that I'm super proud of. You know, the crabbing industry is a big deal down here. Anything I can do to share about our South Louisiana culture, I'm gonna try my best to do it. So thank you guys for sticking along and watching this video. Hope you learned something. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see y'all right here on the next adventure on Cajun Girl Outdoors.